Hello everyone! Today I am going to show you how to start your sewing project. Now today I'm going to be using the iguana to demonstrate with, but these techniques will be the same for whether you're doing the iguana, the frog, or the lips, or any kind of fur animal project. Alright, so I already took the plastic off and I'm going to open it up. You can see in here I've got my instruction sheet. When I open that, it says the first step is to cut out my project, okay? And underneath there, I have a little baggie, which I already opened, of supplies. This is really important that you pay attention. Very, very important. So in here, I have a spool of thread. That's what I'm going to use to sew it with. I'm going to put that off to the side. I have 2 eyes and 2 backs, and I've got a little piece of felt. I'm going to use this to cut out the nostrils. The frog has a little smile, okay, so don't lose that. All right, this is extremely important. When you get these eyes, it is very important that you don't put the back on until you're ready. When we have a hole in the fabric where the eyes go and we put it through, because once you put the back on, you can't get it off. So if you sit here and play with it and put this all the way on and snap it on, then you won't have any eyes to put on your iguana or your frog. So set these to the side and make sure everyone in your family knows not to put the back on until it's time. Okay, so I'm going to set these off to the side. Now I'm going to open up my fur, okay? And you can see that I've got 1 iguana here to cut out and 1 iguana here to cut out. Now I want to show you something about the tail, okay? So here's the tail. And you can see that it can be a short tail or a long curly Q tail. For us, I like us to do the short tail, and here's why. When you get into this curly Q part of the tail, it's very difficult to turn it inside out and stuff it. So we're going to cut ours out so that we cut the short tail. All right, so you're going to get a pair of scissors. And I'm going to start, I kind of started cutting a little bit already. I'm going to start right here, okay, and I've already cut to here. And now I'm going to cut right on the line for the short tail. Okay, these are called sewing shears. And they have a larger part for your fingers and a smaller part for your thumb, okay? So what I do is I cut on the line, and you can notice that I'm moving my fur as I cut out on that line. Okay? And then as I go, I move the fur, hold my scissors kind of straight, and keep cutting around on the line. When I get to here, I can cut off this chunk and I can actually throw it away. Okay, and you can see I've started cutting out my project. Once you get the whole piece cut out, it's very important that you go around and remove any loose fuzz. Do you see how I'm pulling that off? You're going to go around after you get the piece cut out, go around and pull off any loose fuzz all the way around the project, and then push that down into your garbage can. Otherwise, you'll have this flowing around for days and it makes a mess. So cut out your project and then pull off any fuzz. Okay, now after you cut out this iguana piece and this iguana piece, or your 2 frog pieces or your 2 lips pieces, the next thing you're going to do is put on the eyes, okay? So we can see that on this one, it has 2 holes for spots where the eyes go, okay? So for today, you're going to cut out your piece, and if you're making the frog or the iguana, you're going to apply the eyes. Now, when you put the eyes on, it's very important that you make a very small snip where the eyes go. If you cut the hole too big, the eye will fall all the way through. Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use a pair of shears and cut a very small snip, or if you know someone in your family who has a tool that looks like this works really good. This is called a seam ripper, and you use it for taking out mistakes when you're sewing, okay? So I'm going to show you both ways. If you have a seam ripper, what you're going to do is make a little tiny hole right here, put it through, in and out, and cut a little tiny hole through the fabric. Okay, so I have a little hole here. If you don't have a seam ripper, you can do the same thing with a pair of scissors, but you have to be very careful to cut this hole very, very small. And you're just gonna use the very tip of your scissors. So you're gonna fold it right where the eye goes and make a very small snip. You want that hole to be very, very small, okay? Now, remember, pretend I have this iguana all the way cut out, but I'm not gonna take the time to cut it out in front of you today. So now I turn it over because I want my eyes to be on the furry side, not on the inside. So I turn it over, okay? And I'm gonna feel, there's one eye. So I'm gonna take my eye and feel where it goes, where I've made that hole. There it is. And I'm gonna push it through. I'm gonna get the eyes the direction that I want. Okay, so there's the head, the eyes go right there. And now that I have the eye where it goes, now I'm gonna take the back piece with 2 hands and push really hard and snap it into place. Now that eye will not come out, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Find the hole, which is right here. Put my eye through. I want them kind of go in the same direction like that. And turn it over and snap this on, okay? Now, make sure you put the eyes on the furry side, okay? So you've got 2 steps to do today. Cut out all your pieces. Remember to remove any fuzz and throw it away. And then put your eyes in, if you have the iguana or the frog, apply your eyes. After you do these 2 steps, then you'll be ready for step 2.